In this video, we are focused entirely on rounding. First thing we should do is practice and just refresh ourselves with what we call all these numbers here. Let's go through the list. Starting at the top, 500,000. The next one, 20,000. Next one, 9,000, 800, 10, and 7. Now I suspect it got easier toward the bottom. Now, when we put all these pieces together, if we added them all up, we would get this number here. And we read it as 529,817. And we can, if we wish, put a comma in there if you prefer. And the comma reminds us that we can then state the unit for that, in this case, thousands. So 529,817. So above I have here just little reminders. The 5 is in the hundred thousandths position. The 2 is in the 10,000ths position. The 9 is in the thousands position. 8 is in the hundreds. 1 is in the tens. And the 7 is in the ones, which corresponds with these over here perfectly in that you'd say this 5 here is 500,000. That makes sense because the 5 is in the hundred thousandths position. So let's talk about rounding this little beast here. Often we're asked to round, or we know to round to a certain place in the number. So in this case, we're going to round to the thousands. Well, we know that the thousands position there's 9 here. So I'm going to put this little red caret symbol right after the 9. So what we have to do is decide if this is going to round either this way, 529,000, or is it going to round to 530,000. Now we have to decide either or, and it's going to be based entirely on the digit that is after the caret symbol. In this case, it's an 8. And if that 8 is 5 or greater, we go to the higher one. And if the 8 happened to be 4 or 3 or 2, we'd go to this lower one. So that's what we're trying to decide on. In this case, the 8 has us go with the 530,000. So when we're rounding this number to the thousands, it is 530,000. We'll try it again. This time we're going to round to the hundreds position. And in this case, the 100 is the 8. So the symbol that we put in, our caret symbol, goes right after the 8. We look to the 1 and we decide, is that great enough to bump that 8 up to a 9, or should it stay as an 8? Because what we are deciding here is it 529,800 or 529,900? That's our choice. The 1 tells us that we do not bump it up, so in this case we round to 800. So we read our final answer, round it to the hundreds, as 529,800. Here's a few more for you to practice on, or it's one number, and you can do all of these, hit pause, figure them out, and I'll reveal the answers when you come back. Here are the answers. You can check them against yours. Make sure that you have a good handle on this.